Hello everyone. Today we have Miss Garahan, also known as Miss G. She is a kindergarten teacher here at Wahlberg. She specializes in helping students grow academically in an interactive learning environment. She loves all things Harry Potter and enjoys her summers at home in Connecticut. Miss G is passionate about educating students and is here to share about Heggerty. For those listening who have never heard of Heggerty, it is a phonological awareness curriculum that focuses on the ability to notice, think about, and work with the sounds that make up spoken words. This is a pre-reading skill. Hello, Miss G.
Hi.
We're so glad to have you today. Can you share how Heggerty is used in your kindergarten classroom?
Absolutely. So we have Heggerty time every day. It's one of the things we have to do. I really enjoy it. The kids come to love to enjoy it. But it's usually about 10 minutes. It's short little exercises. We do there's like 8 to 9 different things that we do. It focuses on everything from rhyming, and then it eventually leads up to, you talk about beginning sounds. Right now we're working on onset and rhyme, which is really important for them to understand that. Blending, segmenting, all those things that are deleting and adding sounds. All those things that are super important for them when they get to the part where they are reading, for them to manipulate those words and sounds.
What benefits does Heggerty provide for your students?
Well, especially in kindergarten, since we are all pre-readers for the most part coming into kindergarten, just being able to hear it orally. A lot of kids learn really well orally. There's hand gestures that go with Heggerty, so you add that kinesthetic piece to it, which we all know helps kids learn even better.
Yes.
So I definitely have seen the benefit just in that learning. Also, you see them just every day talking with each other. They'll say things and you're like, oh, that starts with this, or oh, that rhymes with that, because we do it every day, and they get excited about it, which is important.
It's fun watching those connections start to happen. What changes do you notice in your students as the year progresses with using the Heggerty curriculum?
Well, luckily, Heggerty does progress itself naturally. It makes things a little bit more difficult, and they learn harder things. But it does it exposes them to the harder things early on as well. So there are things they don't know at the beginning, and they look at you like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's okay. But then your higher kids are already getting that, and then they can manipulate the sounds and do different things. But it really is beneficial for them to hear it. And then when we do get to the point where we are putting a word in front of them, or several words that will build into a sentence, is really good for them, because they already know what to do and how to do that. So it's not as overwhelming and as scary when they first see it.
Right.
And then obviously it works its way into writing, because we are all about, sounding sounds out to write a word, and using the different types of, I would say sound walls that we have. I was going to say word walls, but our sound walls. But they understand that so much better. Oh, this sound is this, or it could be this letter or this letter, and let me try it out, and let me see which one works best.
Awesome. Would you explain to our listeners how you engage your students while using Heggerty?
Well, I'm very animated to begin with in my teaching. So,
She is. In a good way.
But like I said, there are hand motions with all of them. We combine our hand motions from Heggerty with what we do in Letterland, so it's kind of more the same. I have foam pieces of different sizes. So like, for example, we're working on onset and rhyme. So when we're changing that first sound, because that's the onset, and we want to keep the rhyme so they're understanding it, that's a different color, but it's a bigger piece.
Okay.
So they have a visual that I'm changing a smaller piece, which means a smaller sound, and I'm keeping the bigger piece.
Okay.
So they start to see that, and then we take that into our small group. So when I'm doing it maybe without it, or they are having the foam pieces in front of them as well, they're also now manipulating it. And they love it, because then they think they're the teacher, or they think they're doing it, and they learn the routines and what we're doing. So sometimes they're beating me to the punch of saying the answer before I'm finished giving them what they need to do, especially with that deleting. They get that real quick.
Right. I love that. What suggestions do you have for parents to incorporate this into their daily conversations with their student?
I just had lots of conferences, so we talked
Yeah.
about this.
Yes.
So our big thing, like in kindergarten, rhyming is really difficult. So even if like we start with just like, do these 2 words rhyme, and you can do that, and then we do give them 3 words, and they have to pick out the 2 words that rhyme. And then the hardest one for them is producing a word that does rhyme. That's a real word, because they'll
Right.
start
Those
with
nonsense
those
words.
nonsense
Yeah.
words. You say what rhymes with cat, and they'll say like zat, and like, well, that's not a real word. It rhymes,
Right.
but not a real word. So like just doing those things, even in the car, doing it at your house, doing it, grocery shopping.
Right.
It's the same thing with like, what's the beginning sound in this word and the ending sound in that, and eventually we get to middle sounds.
Right.
And like there's a big component is nursery rhymes, which is awesome because they get the cadence, they get rhythm, they get rhyme in that. So even doing nursery rhymes at home, they really like. And just I have to remember, we're not singing them, we are saying
them. Right.
That's the hard part.
That would be the hard part for me too.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't say we're doing Humpty Dumpty. It's like, okay, I can't say it with my little little stuff in it. But just kind of doing those things, because this is all oral. It's nothing written. It's all stuff you can just, you're driving down, oh, hey, there's a cat. What's a word that rhymes with cat?
Right.
Super easy.
Yeah. And I think that's really important for them to practice that rhyming. And that's the key component with Heggerty, is that it is all oral.
Yes.
This isn't something you're having to write. This is going to be something while you're walking down the street, talking to your kids, or showing them things at the museum or at the beach. So, yeah, those are all great tips and suggestions. Well, thank you, Miss G,
Anytime.
for being here today and taking the time to bridge the gap between learning in the classroom and at home. So until next time, keep growing and exploring.